How's it going out there, YouTuber? Cyberneticshark here with another new movie review for you. So let's go right in this review and see what movie I ended up checking out. So welcome to an all-new movie review, folks out there in YouTube land and all subsequent social media lands. Welcome. So I had from a subscriber a comment asking me to do a review of a certain movie. So I have decided to do it for this subscriber. I hope you enjoy this review out there, subscriber that's asked for this. So the movie I'll be reviewing today is a classic from 1983. And that, of course, is an amazing film that had a really all-star cast, lots of great cameos, and just was a really fun film. And that, of course, is National Lampoon's Vacation! Oh, yeah! So National Lampoon's Vacation, like I said, came out in 1983, and is a great comedy film that's the beginning of actually a great, range of films, a series. We had European Vacation, we had Christmas Vacation, we had Christmas Vacation 2 with it, we had Vegas Vacation, all kinds of sequels to this film. And pretty much most of them had Chevy Chase in them, versus the only one that didn't was the made-for-TV one with Rain and Quaid. That's Christmas Vacation 2. But this film is just so awesome and so well directed. Now, this movie was actually directed by the late, great Mr. Harold Ramis! Oh yeah, we all know him as Egon from the original 2 Ghostbuster films. He also had a great kind of like little cameo honor in the Ghostbusters by Paul Feig in 2016. That was kind of cool. They had like a bust of his face, which I thought was really cool. But Harold Ramis is an amazing director. He was a great actor, great writer, and he just made a lot of great films over his career, that spanned, over 30 plus years. But when it comes to a couple films I really enjoyed by him that he's directed, it's none other than a great film that came out in 1996 that he directed, starring the great and awesome Michael Keaton and the gorgeous Andie MacDowell. And that, of course, is a film called Multiplicity. Oh, yeah. I absolutely love this film. It's so freaking funny. Michael Keaton is on point and so amazing in the film. And he just did a really fantastic job portraying the 4 different versions of himself, from, number 2 to number 3 to number 4 being, kind of not as sharp as the original image, or a copy of a copy, which was freaking hilarious. And just the whole dynamics of the film were just funny, and I thought Ramis did a great job of directing that, and giving us this great comedy with really great actors and actresses involved in the film. Now, the second film I really enjoyed that he directed is a great film that just, I feel, is just really amazing, really fun. Another film with Andie MacDowell in it, and stars Bill Murray too as well, and I think it's just a really fun and cool concept. And that, of course, is a film called Groundhog Day! Oh yeah! So Groundhog Day we actually just passed, shortly about a month ago now. Groundhog Day we were supposed to see in early winter, but this film basically, if you're not familiar with it, is basically about Bill Murray's character gets stuck in this little town in Punxsutawney, and he keeps reliving the same day over and over again until he can get his life right, basically, is what's happening. And it's just a really fun film, and I thought Ramis did a great job of directing it, giving us this really fun kind of new original story at the time, and kind of a cool time loop type of deal. And the comedy and the thoughts and the writing that went into this film were just so well conceived and well done too as well. And I just really enjoyed what, Ramis brought to that film and gave us this really great other comedy that I absolutely enjoy watching all the time. I just think it's a great film. I always enjoy watching it, and looking forward to watching it soon again, because it's just such a great film and so well directed by Ramis. But when it comes to directing, National Lampoon's Vacation, which is one of his first, directing films, it's not exactly his first film, but it's around when he was just first getting around to directing. I thought he did a fantastic job with such great comedy chops. And with the really great writing by John Hughes in the film too, just the two mashed together just made a really fantastic film. From, the scene where they, they're trying to get to the Grand Canyon and they drive off and they, destroy the car, to the scene, going through the city where they get their hubcaps taken, to just, Chevy Chase's, some of the scenes that he was in that were just on point and perfect. It just really well directed by Ramis, and really miss his directing talent, since he passed away in 2014. Just a really great and awesome, directing by him, and he did such a great job with this film, and it's just a really fun film. This movie has a great cast, and I've already mentioned one of the cast members' names, and he is just a really great talent when it comes to movies. In person and as a person in real life, I don't care too much for him, but he still is a great comedian and always fun to watch in a lot of his movies. And that, of course, is Mr. Chevy Chase. Now, Chevy Chase you might recognize from a slew of films over the years. You might recognize him from Fletch Lives. You might recognize him from Community if you're, a younger viewer. You might recognize him from, a whole bunch of other films over the years. And, bits and parts, Foul Play, and so forth. But a couple of films I really enjoyed him in and thought he was fantastic in is none other than one great film that came out in 1980 and also is directed by Harold Ramis and stars Rodney Dangerfield, Ted Knight, an awesome ensemble cast. And that, of course, is a film called Caddyshack. Oh, yeah. Caddyshack, which also stars Bill Murray as well. It's just a really fun film. And I absolutely love Chevy Chase's character in the film. I think he plays this, kind of bumbling, arrogant, but at the same time kind of stupid type of character. And he just is really fun and really hilarious in it. And I just really enjoy his character, and I thought that he was a great addition to that film and just made it a really fun. And it really showed his, great comedy chops. Now, the second film I really enjoyed him in and thought he was really awesome in was a great film that I just think is just really amazing. I think it's funny. I think it's just a really silly type of film and just really fun and energetic and just a really amazing film. Is Fletch. Oh, yeah. So Fletch had two films, Fletch and Fletch Lives, and Chevy Chase is just fantastic in the film. I love all his costumes in the film and the different disguises he wears. And just one of those dumb, stupid films that it's really funny and at the same time has a really great storyline and was really, well directed. And it's a really fun, another great comedy skit that, Fletch, himself, Chevy, really showed his acting chops and how good he is at comedy and playing kind of that dumb, bumbling kind of character. And I just thought he did a really good job in it. But when it comes to his character, of course, as the Griswold character in National Lampoon's Vacation, I think he's just really on point as the character, as the main Griswold. And he just really showed, once again, he had that same type of acting chops he had in Caddyshack, Fletch, Nothing But Trouble, all those types of movies, Foul Play, that just played into effect to make it really on point and funny. And he just was so damn hilarious in the film, especially some of the lines he delivered were just on point and really well done. Just a really great performance and a really great, person to pick for that role. And I don't see anyone else playing that character ever, because he is Griswold. He is that character and just did a really great job. Now, that brings me to the second actor I like to talk about in this film. And this actress is an amazing, person. It's just awesome to watch always. Always enjoy her films. Always enjoyed her. I think she's hilarious. I think she's got some great comedic timing. And just, gorgeous as well. And that, of course, is the awesome and beautiful Miss, you have it, Beverly D'Angelo! Oh, yeah! So Beverly D'Angelo has been in, several films over the years. Some of them I've seen, some of them I haven't. But a couple I really enjoyed her in was an awesome film that starred Steve Guttenberg, Peter O'Toole, and Daryl Hannah that came out towards the late 80s. And I think is a really fun comedy film. And that, of course, is a film called High Spirits. Oh, yeah. So High Spirits is a great comedy film that has to do with ghosts, supernatural things, and stuff like that. And Beverly D'Angelo's character in it is just really funny and hilarious. And her comedic timing in the film was on point and just really well done. And she was just a really great addition to that film. And I just really enjoyed her performance in the film. And I thought she made the film very fun and was a great addition to those other, actors and actresses involved. Now, the second film I really enjoyed her in and thought that she was fantastic in is a great film that came out in 1994 starring the awesome Cuba Gooding Jr. and Paul Hogan. And this film was, I don't know if it was in theaters, but it was, I saw it on DVD and VHS back in the day. And I thought it was just a really fun, awesome comedy film. And then, of course, the film called Lightning Jack. Oh, yeah! Great Paul Hogan plays Lightning Jack, who is an outlaw that's trying to become wanted. And he's not really on any wanted posters, even though he's like this outlaw. And Beverly D'Angelo plays his love interest in the film, and she's absolutely hilarious in the film. I love every scene she's in with him, especially the scene where she comes and she's like, coming knocking on his door and saying, "Oh, I always thought you slept in the noon." He's like, "Well, that's when I don't have any other guys around." And it's a funny interaction, and it's just so on point in how great she delivered those lines, and just made a really great performance entirely in the film. Really enjoyed her character in that. One of my all-time favorite roles of hers. Just an all-around really fun film, too. If you haven't seen Lightning Jack, definitely check it out, people. It's worth the watch. When it comes, again, to Beverly D'Angelo in National Lampoon's Vacation, she was great as, Ellen Griswold, and I just thought she worked really well with Chevy in the film. I thought they worked really well off of each other, being husband and wife. And I just thought she brought some great, one-liners and scenes that she was in that were just so funny. Of course, her most iconic, a lot of people will talk about is, of course, her nude scene in the shower in the film. And I just thought that, she did a great job of that scene because she was still hilarious at the same time, interacting with Chevy Chase in the scene. And I just thought it was really funny scene, too, as well, and just so fun to watch. Great performance by her, and she did a fantastic job in the film. Really enjoyed her and thought she was a great addition to the film. Now that brings me to the third actor I like to talk about. And that, of course, is the son of the Griswolds, Mr. Anthony Michael Hall! Oh, yeah! So Anthony Michael Hall you might recognize from a slew of films throughout the 80s. That he, was a huge teen icon at the time. But a couple of films I really enjoyed him and thought he was fantastic in was none other than the 1985 film starring Molly Ringwald, Emilio Estevez, Judd Nelson, and so many other great people, Alice Sheedy and so forth. And then, of course, the film called The Breakfast Club. Oh, yeah! So Breakfast Club is a great kind of teen rom-comedy directed by John Hughes. And Anthony Michael Hall, this is kind of like his breakout film, I feel. And he was just so funny and awesome in it. He's so dorky and quirky. At the same time, he has such a great, enduring personality and character to himself that I thought he did a great job in the film. And just really worked really well with everyone in the film. And just made a really great impression on me as an actor, showing that he had some pretty good acting chops. And I just thought it was a really fun role. If you haven't seen Breakfast Club, definitely give it a whirl, people. It's worth the watch. Now, the second film I like to talk about that he was in that I really enjoyed is also a 1985 film that's a great teen rom-comedy, also dealing with John Hughes. And that, of course, is a film called Weird Science. Oh, yeah! So Weird Science, which has a really great catchy song, from that time. Weird Science, which is just a really fun song, but at the same time, the movie itself is really fun. Basically about these two teenagers that design and create an artificial woman, basically, that will like them. And it's basically about them trying to deal with creating this, human and dealing with it and trying to deal with adolescence and being, teenagers and stuff like that. And it's just a really fun film. And I thought Anthony Michael Hall was really awesome in it. Really enjoyed him. I thought he did a great job. Showed that same quirky attitude as he did in Breakfast Club. And just made a really fun film. And I just thought I really just enjoyed him in it. A really fun film. If you haven't seen that either, definitely check it out, people. It's worth the watch. Now, it comes to Anthony Michael Hall in National Lampoon's Vacation. Once again, he was a classic teenager, son of the Griswolds, and he just did a really fun job. He wasn't in too many scenes, but he had some really fun scenes. The ones where he's interacting with his cousins and stuff like that were really funny. And just some of the lines he produced talking to his dad, Chevy Chase in the film, was just really fun too as well. I thought he did a great job, and wasn't a huge part, but at the same time I thought that he did a really fun job with what he had and gave us a really exceptional performance in that film. If you haven't seen National Lampoon's Vacation, definitely check it out, people. It's worth his awesome performance. Oh yeah. Some other honorable mentions that also popped up in this film in small little roles was one of Jane Krasowski's first roles, where she's 14 years old, and she was really fun to watch in that film. She plays one of the cousins of Uncle Eddie, which I thought was really awesome and thought that was hilarious as well. And I thought that she was really fun at that, for her being one of her first roles. I thought it was interesting. That girl turned into the amazing Jane Krakowski that was in 30 Rock and incredible Kimmy Schmidt and so forth. I thought it was funny to see her in one of her first roles. Also, we have in a small cameo Mr. Eugene Levy. Oh yeah, who is awesome. I absolutely loved him as Jim's dad in the American Pies. Everything I've seen him in, I always loved him. Multiplicity. All kinds of films he's been in. He's just really awesome. Always loved him. And then also you had a small cameo by John Candy also at the same time, which was a really fun little cameo. And just all around just a great film. And it's just a really fun and really awesome. If you haven't seen it, definitely give it a roll, people. It's worth the watch. Now, if you're not familiar with what National Lampoon's Vacation is, basically it's about this dad trying to take his family, his wife, his 2 kids, to this awesome, park, amusement park that's out in California, from where they live in Chicago, and basically about all the crazy things that happen in between getting from Chicago to Wally World. And just kind of who they interact with, what happens to the car, and so forth. It's just a great comedy film, really well, written by John Hughes and directed by Harold Ramis. It's just an all-around fun film. If you haven't seen it, like I said, definitely give it a whirl, people. It's worth the watch, really fun, and a classic at that, too, as well. Well, that's it for this movie review, folks. Always thank you for watching, thank you for liking, also thank you for subscribing. And if this is your first time here, or if you have been here before and haven't hit that subscribe button, what I got to do? Take you on a trip to Wally World to get you subscribed? Come on, people, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss this video or any of the awesome videos I put up. And as always, people, keep your eyes out for any older new videos you haven't seen mine yet. And as always, people, check out the awesome Horror Pack, which is a great subscription service of horror films, either in DVD or Blu-ray format, right to your door every month for a great low price. So if that's something that interests you, if you're a huge horror fan, check out that link down below to check it out and see what you can get. And also, if you hit the discount button down there, you get a discount on your first month if you're a new time subscriber as well. Oh yeah. And as always, people, catch you in the next one.